Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
Welcome to episode 154. How are you, Josh Rohr?
I am dandy. How are you?
Peachy. If we're using weird words to describe how we're feeling.
We are.
Dandy. All right. So what's making you feel so dandy?
Just one of them moods. No reason. Yeah, really no reason. I just felt like having a fun random word to say, and that's the first one that came to mind. So
hey,
there you go.
There you go. Nice.
Yep.
So things have been happening in the powerlifting world. Talk to me.
Well, talk to me, Goose. We had Isabel competed at the Georgia Collegiate State Championship last weekend, and she went 7 for 9. She had a pretty good meet. She hit a 27.5 kilo meet PR in a squat, and a 2.5 kilo bench PR and a 5 kilo deadlift PR. Her bench and deadlift PRs were based on the meet that she did 2 weeks ago. So she did that bench and deadlift meet. Squat, it was like a year ago she did that. So she had a little more time, but she hit a big 52.5 kilo meet PR total. And she was just under getting best lifter. She had a 430 dots. Best lifter had 432. So
so close, man.
So close. But we were kind of looking at it, but not really. That was a meet just to kind of have fun and try to hit some big numbers, and she did.
Yeah. So. 27.5 kilo PR in a squat. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's not bad, right?
Yeah, right. And 110
and that's based on
kilo bench.
And that's based on missing her opening attempt too. She missed her opener on depth. So she repeated her opener and then kind of took a jump, a little bigger jump than she would have normally taken from first to second, but not quite as high as we were going to go on a third. So I think she's got quite a bit left on her squat.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Love to see that.
I was not there though. I was not at the meet because I was actually in Disneyland or Disney World.
Disneyland.
Which one is the one in Florida? Disney World or Disneyland?
Disney World.
Okay. Well, I was at Disney World because the Special Olympics Florida State Champion Special Olympics Florida State. I guess it was the state championship. I can't remember the exact name. But anyway, it was happening. It was happening at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Disney World. And I went down, I took equipment down and also refereed. Well, so I was there to referee, but they let me DJ and announce, which was awesome. So I had a blast. But it was really cool. Like some of those lifters are so fun to watch and they kind of remind you like why you do the sport. Like maybe that's why I'm feeling dandy today. Like my sense of like pride or energy about the sport itself has been like renewed, maybe just from being there and watching that and being part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
nice. And really you got to play Billie Jean. People lifted to Billie Jean.
So here's the problem. I did not get to play my own music. I got handed an iPad that had music on it. It was Disney's iPad. It was basically all the songs on that iPad were Disney approved. So I had to make a playlist from that list of music. There was some good stuff. Like they had like Phil Collins' Sussudio. They had like Huey Lewis, Hip to Be Square. Like there were some good ones on there, but it wasn't like a true Josh Rohr playlist. Although I made a new playlist on Disney's iPad and I took a picture of myself as the cover photo of it. And I said Josh Jams. So now anybody that uses the Disney iPad in the future, there's a picture of me called Josh Jams.
Josh Jams with your.
Yeah. But they had like Eye of the Tiger was on there.
Thank God.
Yeah. So there were some good songs, but again, it wasn't
Huh.
what it could have been. But I played them at the right volume and at the right time to make them really
Mm,
work. So
nice,
it was
nice.
a success.
So was anyone lifting to like the Lion King theme or anything like that?
Yes. So when they first brought it out, they had it set to like the playlist was like uh Disney jazz jams or something, or Disney jazz or something like that. So it was like
Right.
a lot of the theme songs, and it was playing, and they were like really low key, and I couldn't figure out, because I don't use iPads, I couldn't figure out how to find the other playlists. So I thought that was all the music there was. So like third attempt squat was coming out, and I'd turn the volume up, and I'm like, ooh, that's having the opposite effect because it's like a low key calming music. So I would turn it back down and then just like yell to try to get him hyped up. So it's like the louder the music
Uh,
was, the more calm the environment was. I'm like, that's the opposite of what I want. So finally,
mm,
after the first flight of third attempt squats happened, and there were multiple sessions and it was multiple days. So I got it fixed after the first, day one, session one. But I finally figured out, I had somebody come over and show me there was other music, and then we got it taken care of.
oh yeah, good.
Then we turned it up with like studio.
I mean, at least that. So
Yeah, right.
yeah,
But it was a lot of fun. I got to stay at the All Star Sports Resort, which is basically, one of the really fancy resorts. And it was cool. Like I had a lot of fun. It would have been
yeah.
cool if like Hope and Emma could have came with me. And they actually could have, because Hope was actually off work, but I was working all day, and then like I had like an hour at night and then had to go to bed. So it's like
Mm,
they might have been able to kind of hang out and explore stuff, but I wouldn't have been part of it. So it really wasn't worth it.
right,
So maybe in future years they'll come along.
right. Well, Emma's a little young for appreciating all of Disney
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
so
But she is,
another
but
year.
it's kind of like it was a free trip. So,
Right,
but
right.
I mean, not really to the resort or anything, or not to like the parks, but
Yeah, the
like
parks.
the hotel was covered, like the travel was covered. So
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
those parks have gotten expensive.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I think it was
Oh,
something
really?
like $200 a day just to get into the park per person.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Mm.
I don't know about that.
I don't
But
know about
yeah.
that. I like that.
Um, but it was fun. We had a good time. Um, some of the so my equipment has gone out to like the Special Olympics national games in Seattle, and uh whatever, they just shipped it out like on a UPS truck before. But it
Oh,
was the meet director was Richard Frazier up in he's in North Carolina, but he runs a lot of the Special Olympics meets. Even I think even internationally, I think he was part of like the Special Olympics World Games in Berlin this past year. But anyway, long story short, the last time I actually worked with him was in Seattle in, I don't know, it was like 2017, 2018 or something like that. So it was kind of like a little powerlifting reunion, like getting to work with him and his crew again. So it was pretty fun.
mhm.
But
That's
anyway,
awesome.
so I'm excited about powerlifting again. It brought back some of the joy of it for me,
Mm,
just seeing like, you know, all the lifters doing it just for the joy of it. It
yeah,
definitely was.
lifting for the joy of lifting,
Yeah.
not like ego lifting and not getting all emo and all mad if
Yeah.
they,
And there's,
yeah,
so there's
egocentric.
also the Southeast Special Olympics Southeast championship is in Atlanta every year, and it's actually, I think, January 27th coming up. So if anybody in Georgia wants to go check it out, that'd be a good one.
Mm,
But there's one lifter there that I announced him, I don't know, it was 5-6 years ago, maybe more than that, at the Special Olympics meet in Georgia before. But he was at this meet in Florida, and I remember him, and he's like a super big showman. Like his name's Tim, and he like gets out and like, pumps up the crowd, like
mm,
flexes before he goes on the platform, and
mhm.
then does like puts the hand up to his ear like to make noise. So I
Nice.
started giving him a nickname every single attempt. So like the first one, I'm like, all right, up next we got the Timinator, and then I'm like, second attempt, I'm like, all right, it's uh Tim the Tool Man, whatever, based off of Home Improvement. And he like kept playing it up every time. Like he would kind of go with what I was saying, and like after each attempt, he'd come over and like give me a fist bump, be like, "That was a good one."
Nice.
But
We should do that for every meet, I think.
But his third attempt was he got it. But his third attempt, I called him Timmy the Tank Engine, based off of Thomas the Tank Engine. And afterwards, like nobody in the crowd like really responded to it. And afterwards, he's like, "Wasn't your best." All right. Well,
shaming
I tried. Yeah,
nice.
Basically. But it was pretty funny.
That's
He's
awesome.
a character. Yeah. So anyway, that was my weekend. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was good. It's quiet. It's nice.
It's good. Quiet weekends are always great.
Yeah.
The Georgia State meet is coming up February 23rd through 25th. It's the weekend before the Arnold. It is up in Cartersville. So it's not going to be in the metro Atlanta area. That's up kind of close to where the 5-bar showdown was a couple of those years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, registration opened on November 1st. It's capped at 325 lifters, and currently there are 224 signed up. So it is quickly approaching the deadline, or approaching the cap. So if you plan on lifting at the Georgia State meet in February, you probably need to get signed up ASAP.
Nice. So why Cartersville?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm not privy to that, but it is going to be. So the part that I'm excited about is it's part of it's not part of, it's being held in a convention center. So, versus like a high school, which high schools I think are great venues. But I know the first couple of years that they ran it after I stopped running it, it was in a CrossFit gym and it was really crowded. It was kind of too crowded, and they had lower caps because they couldn't have as many lifters. Then they went to the high school last year, which was great. But they went ahead and went to a convention center this year, which I think is going to be really cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not excited about going to Cartersville, but because that's, probably a little more than of a drive back and forth. I'll probably have to get a hotel or something up there, maybe a team Airbnb. But I think the venue is going to be pretty neat, being in the convention center.
Right. And the whole team Airbnb is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Usually. So
the only thing that's a downside. No downside of that, but the part that sucks is it's literally for a lot of our lifters, it's 6 days. They would be competing 6 days before they're competing at the Arnold. So it's basically off the table for all of our lifters, like competing in the pro finals at the Arnold.
Yeah.
Which
it would be
for team competition standpoint, it kind of sucks because a lot of our top point scorers are not able to compete, but that just means everybody else has to. So,
right. Yeah.
But
same thing with other teams. So
yeah, true.
Yeah.
So that's that. If anybody is planning on doing the state meet and needs a training program, you can subscribe to our training app. We actually have a state meet program that is 13 weeks that takes you all the way through. It starts on November 26th. So if you get subscribed by November 26th, you can actually run the program all the way through, and we'll have a private Discord server or private Discord channel in our server that just for people that are subscribed to it. So, you can ask questions, post videos, things like that. You can subscribe at teamroar.programs.app. Like I said, that starts November 26th. So if you get signed up before that, you'll be able to follow it all the way through and have the best meet of your life. Probably.
Dandy.
Yeah, dandy. Stupendous.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
All right. Well, that's pretty much most of that. So we started the rule book review thing last week. So I went to the next blue highlight, which is not really a change per se, but it's clarified language. So Today's blue highlight of the USA Powerlifting Rulebook is 1.6.1.2. That's the section. And it says for lifters in age defined divisions, aka youth, teen, junior, masters, the qualifying total must be for the age they will be on the day they compete in the competition. So that actually, what that means is, this is a question we get a lot. People ask, I'm a T3 lifter. I'm 19 years old. I hit the qualifying total for the T3 division, but at nationals, I'll be 20 and I'll be a junior. Does my qualifying total count? And the answer is no. You have to have hit the qualifying total in the division that you will be competing in. So basically this language means, like, even though you're a teenage 3 lifter right now, you'll be competing when you're a junior. So you have to hit the qualifying total for the junior age division. So,
which might be more.
Which, yeah, it's definitely going to be more. So
right.
Just something to be aware of, because that is a question a lot of new lifters get, or a lot of new lifters ask. And, it just kind of clarifies some of those things. So a lot of the blue highlights are just clarifications of already existing rules, just put into language that makes it a little bit more understandable.
Mm-hmm. It makes me wonder how it was worded before. But
I don't think it, well, in that situation, I don't think it was worded before. It just had the qualifying totals listed.
Okay. So,
but it didn't elaborate on the fact that you have to hit, because I mean, that is a legit question. Like, I hit the qualifying total while I was a teenager. Does that mean I get to go to nationals and lift as a junior? Like, I can see how people could maybe not understand that, you have to hit it for the division you're going to compete in. So that's just a little addition. Technically it's an addition, but it's a clarification on what those qualifying totals mean.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yep. Cool. Do you have a new lifter tip?
No pressure right now, this moment. No.
Okay. Well, we can recycle one. So how about double check the scoreboard after you weigh in to make sure that your body weight and attempts are entered correctly.
That's a good one. So, yeah, because that has happened where an attempt wasn't entered correctly.
Well, that happened this weekend. So a coach actually came up to the score table at the Special Olympics meet and said, "Hey, this is not what I turned in for opening attempt." And we looked at the scorecard, and sure enough, they were right. So it saved, a wasted attempt, and I can't remember if it was loaded too light or loaded too heavy, but either way, it would be, it sucks when you have to redo something. So they caught it before the lifter attempted it. So it was like it never happened. So it was great.
Right. Yep.
But had they not checked lifting cast, like, we would have loaded it the wrong weight. The lifter would have done the wrong weight. And if it was too heavy, they might have missed. If it was too light, they'd have to make a decision either to keep the too light or forfeit the too light and do the correct weight. And then it's extra stress that's not needed. So kudos to the coach down there that did notice that and brought it to our attention before it actually affected anything.
Right. And checking your weight to make sure it was entered correctly. But also, I would say to check your weight just so you know where you are in regards to other lifters. Yes. Being lighter matters.
Being lighter matters. Also, being stronger matters.
Well, there's that too.
So if you're bigger, you got to be stronger. If you're lighter, you just have to be as strong. You don't have to be stronger.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's always an advantage.
Yep.
Noise.
Oh, that's all I got. How about you?
Yeah, everything's kind of quiet here. I got to say, I did enjoy my foray back into coaching, even though it was brief. That was fun and exciting.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to bring it up, but what are you doing for the state meet? Want to come on down to Cartersville and hang out for the weekend?
It's the end of February. I might be.
Don't think, just answer yes or no.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't.
Don't think,
out of
just
the country.
Answer yes or no.
Pressure. No.
Oh, that's not what you're supposed to say.
Well, you put me under pressure. That's what I'm going to do.
I know, but you're supposed to say yes and then deal with the consequences later.
Yeah, but the whole weekend? The whole weekend.
Maybe not the whole weekend. Maybe just
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well played. Well played. I'll give you a day for sure. The
All
rest
right,
I'll think
deal.
about. How's that?
All right.
Okay.
Deal. You'll give me a day for sure, probably the rest of the weekend.
I said I'll think about the rest of the time. Well, you hear what you want to hear, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And at Cartersville, I think for me, isn't this far.
Yeah, it's
So-
probably about the same drive for you as it is for me.
Right.
Maybe less, actually. 'cause
Maybe, I
it's,
think
it's
less.
it's over an hour for me.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's as bad for me.
Yeah, cool. Well, so I looked, maybe I shouldn't say this. I'll say it. I looked up Airbnbs, and there's the house that we stayed in for the 5-bar a long time ago with that cemetery back behind. It's
Oh,
available.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go to the cemetery. That was so
Yeah.
cool.
So
That was a cool
I
house,
guess, yeah. So nobody else booked that house if you're listening to this, because we want to book it potentially.
Yeah, so nobody else would know. How would they know?
I don't know. Because when you read the description, it says it has a cemetery behind.
Does it really?
Yeah.
That's like a feature.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it makes some people like not stay there.
It could make some people stay there though. Like,
Right.
ooh. But I bet it does keep some people from staying.
Right. Interesting.
Lots to think
All
about.
right. Okay. Well, I'm in.
Cool. All right. Sounds great. Is Dan lifting?
At the state meet? No, he's not planning to.
Okay. So it's
But
not a
maybe he
no,
should.
it's just not planning to.
I'll have to broach it with him. See if he wants
Yeah.
to lift.
Yeah.
Because he'd need to register right away.
Pretty soon.
Yeah. I think he's into the the push pull.
Yeah.
Type of thing. I don't know if he'd want to do a full meet.
Gotcha.
All right. Well,
Possible. Cool. Good talk.
excited for the state meet. The Stort meet.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't talk.
It'll be fun. I think that's the next big meet we have on the schedule for the team.
Yep.
So should be good.
Good stuff.
All right.
All right. Well,
That's it.
Ha.
Don't forget to sign up for our training app, teamroar.programs.app. That'll be the key to your success.
and also register for the state meet.
Yeah, you also want to probably sign up for the state meet if you haven't yet, or it's,
Gonna be cool.
you'll be lifting in your garage the weekend of the meet.
But,
Anyway, right.
Lifting for the joy of lifting. There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that. All right, we're rambling. Let's get out of here.
We
Later.
are. Goodbye, both of our listeners. Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.